right. I will kick off to respect everyone that has joined in time. And because we actually have quite a jam-packed schedule, I think we should kick off right now so that we end the session in time and everyone can enjoy the rest of their day. All right. Good morning, everyone. My name is Tato Garekwe, and I am the founder and CEO of Rekisa E-commerce Solutions. And basically, what we are is we are a technology business. We're a technology business that is on a mission to help SMEs with their digital transformation journey. That's to say, we help SMEs to create their own online shops. We help SMEs to navigate in the world of digital marketing, particularly inbound marketing and outbound marketing. And we also help SMEs through educating them around the entire ecosystem of digital transformation, particularly with a focus on e commerce, on cloud systems, and on digital marketing. So I am not here by myself today. I am joined by my team. They are working in the background, but we have Manyano, we have Timo, we have Karabo, and I think we have Tabang as well on the session. And essentially, together we are going to be running this workshop with everyone that has joined us this morning. All right. I want to confirm that the sessions are being recorded and they will be shared with you at the at the end of the workshop. And we will also be sharing various resources that you can use over and above these sessions that we will be running today. Okay, so you would have received an email from me a couple of days ago regarding how we are actually going to structure the day. And essentially, as I mentioned earlier, it's going to be a jam-packed day where I'm going to try my utmost best to take you through the journey of paid ads and outbound marketing by focusing on five key touch points. That's to say sales funnels. What are they? How do they work? Meta ads. What is it? How does it work? LinkedIn ads, Google ads, Apollo, and then we end the day with a in-depth Q&A where you can ask me specific questions on various elements of the things that I spoke about. But the resources that we'll be sharing with you are basically designed in such a way that if I wasn't in front of you right now and presenting what I'm presenting, by following these how-to guides, you too can achieve what the guide has basically set you out to achieve. All right. So that's really how we plan the day. And between 10 o'clock to 11, we're going to be talking about sales funnels and the process of marketing. And I am going to try my utmost best to be as practical as possible without losing you in the academic information. Us digital marketers, we tend to use a lot of jargon that is quite confusing, and a normal business person that also has their own business to run might not necessarily understand some of these acronyms or terms that we use, right? So we're going to use as simple language as possible. We're going to use practical examples that I'm hoping will help you along the way. Yes, Mañana.
There's something up with your sound, something that keeps making a noise. I'm not sure if you're moving around
Oh,
or.
sorry. It might have been the paper that I was holding. Thank you for that. Is it
Yeah,
fine now?
yeah, it's fine now.
All right. Thank you. Thanks for that, Mayano. All right. So from 10 to 11, guys, we'll be talking about sales funnels. And then from 11:10 to 12:10, we'll go into social media advertising and how to set that up in terms of how to reach your respective customers. From 12:20 to 13:20 for 1:20, we'll be doing Google Ads. And from 1:30 to 2:30, we'll be doing Apollo, and we'll end the session off from 2:30 till 3 with a Q&A. All right. Because of the limited time that we have together, These segments of the workshop are not an exhaustive workshop in itself, where we're going to be showing you each and every piece of the different platforms, because we're simply not going to have time. But we're going to spend an hour, if not shorter, on each platform to really just give you a high level overview of how to start, how to create, and how to execute, so that you too can run your own activities online. Okay, so without further ado, let me get straight into it, and let's get into the session. All right. So before we go into the session, let me just present what Rekisa. I've already mentioned what Rekisa does, but just our journey in this world of digital marketing. Our business started in October of 2020 as an e-commerce business. Our mission was to really just create an e-commerce platform that helps SMEs to create their own online shops, right? And yes, Homotso, the session is recorded, and each segment will be recorded and shared with you accordingly. Timo, can you please answer the questions in the chats, as and when they come through, okay? And then, guys, to make sure that we complete our sessions within time, any question that you may have, instead of unmuting and asking the question, please can you just type the question in the group chat on the bottom of your screen, and either at the end of the session or before we start the next session, I will look at the questions and then I will answer them. All right. I'm just being cognizant of time and making sure that we finish within the set time that we've already planned. So 2020, we created this lovely platform, this e-commerce platform that helps SMEs and entrepreneurs to create their own online shops. But mind you, my experience wasn't necessarily in digital marketing. My experience was in overall marketing as a profession. I have an honors degree in strategic brand communications. Rekisa is my second business that I founded. My first business is actually a below the line marketing agency called Tribe Activations. And we co-founded that business in 2012, and it has been running for 14 years since. I'm not fully focused on Tribe since as of 2020. I'm fully focused on Rekisa, but Tribe is a business that's actually running and it's thriving. Rekisa was started with the mission to really just help people to sell online, and as the name suggests, Rekisa, which means sell, right? So we set out and we want to help people to sell online. So we had to teach ourselves. We had to change our mindset first and foremost, and we needed to learn. We needed to be open to learning, and we needed to understand what is the journey of digital marketing. We were sending emails to people. Some were working, some didn't work. We were advertising, or at least what we thought was advertising, but we didn't have a strategy in place until we scaled our team, until we actually went on various courses and we really just sat down to understand what this world of digital marketing is. It's only this year that we truly appreciate the different elements and the different moving parts of digital marketing. And digital marketing is a term that we all use quite freely, right? But it's a way of getting your brand in the hands of, or in front of your customers. But once your brand is in front of your customers, there's still a couple of touch points that they need to go through before they ultimately purchase from you, right? And that term is called the sales funnel, or the customer journey. We all have a sales funnel, whether it's a deliberate sales funnel or it's a sales funnel that we're not aware of. But in all our different businesses that we are involved in, we all have a process of getting to the customer. Some of us might be advertising through our social media platforms, right? And say, this is the product that I have. This is how much it costs. DM me if you want to know more. And that's a funnel. The customer will see it. They will DM you. And essentially, once they've DM'd you, you send them a quotation or you send them a link to pay you. and they've purchased, and that's a funnel, right? Some of us run our campaigns on email, some of us run our campaigns on TV or radio, and all those different touch points are created to basically start a relationship with a possible customer and engage with that customer until they have basically bought from you. That's what you call a sales funnel. In these different workshops, I'm going to show you how to be strategic about your sales funnel, right? And I will use the words sales funnel and customer journey interchangeably because they are really the same thing. But ultimately, the space that us as business we want to get into a space where we are strategic about first and foremost our strategy, right? Why are we doing what we're doing? We're doing it because we want to generate sales. We're doing it because we want to grow. We're doing it because we want to achieve profitability, right? And ultimately, profitability and growth is achieved by getting a certain number of sales, but these sales need to be run in a profitable way. That's to say they need to cover our costs, and we need to generate our sales and get a respectable margin so that we can achieve growth, right? That's really just like business in itself. But ultimately, the space of marketing helps with sales in the form of it brings you profitable customers that, or rather audiences that can convert into customers as fast as possible with as minimal cost as possible. And they are not just one-time customers. They are retained customers. They are customers that are always buying from you, and ultimately they bring you more customers. That is the most optimized sales funnel that we could possibly achieve. All right. So I talk too much. Let me start presenting my screen and take you through the entire journey that we're talking about. Okay. Manyano, I'm going to need you to be my eyes. All right. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see your screen.
All right. Awesome. Let me just mute my video. All right. Awesome. So guys, when this whole process begins, right? It's important that you understand what the process of marketing is and what the process of sales is. And if I'm engaging with experienced marketers here, I am sorry if I sound like a broken record, but I think it's important to just always be reminded about the process of marketing. The process of marketing is starting a relationship with strangers and having entry channels being the touch points that enable your customer to basically engage with you. Those entry channels are your social media pages, it's your cell phone or your office number that your customers can call. It's your website, it's the location of your office. Those are all entry levels, right? And as businesses, we want to share our value proposition, our so-called promise, to these customers or these strangers that have engaged with us wanting help, right? We all have a promise. Our promise as a Rekisa is we will help you to sell online, right? That's our promise. We will help you to sell your product online. We will help you to get your product in front of your key audience that are in a position to buy, and we will help you to do that at scale and do it online. That's our promise. Anyone who sells any other product may have a promise or a value proposition. It's very important that your value proposition is one that is very difficult for your competitors to replicate. And if they can replicate it, it needs to be extremely expensive for them to replicate it, right? Our promise needs to be one that keeps our customer, but most importantly, it needs to be one that identifies and engages with our respective, I call them tribe of customers, because we are not going to be everything to everyone, right? We have our own specific customers that get attracted to our brand, who get attracted to our messaging, and ultimately they're the ones who become our customers. All right. Once we've shared this value proposition with our customers or with these strangers, we capture them and we create them as leads. So what that means is just because someone has come into our building or has given us a call or has shared an email address with us or has requested a quotation does not mean they're customers yet. We've shared our proposition, But now we are engaging with them. Now they have become a lead, right? And they are still yet to convert into becoming a customer. Once this lead has engaged with us, they've heard our value proposition, they've engaged with some of our products through samples or through demos. That whole exercise is a process of building trust with them. It's a process of building credibility. That's to say, building our credibility with the customer, to the point where they are now comfortable to basically make their first purchase. In this workshop, some of you would have had the pleasure of receiving a coupon from us to come and attend this training for free. Some of you would have received a discount from us to purchase the workshop at a lower rate than what you would have otherwise paid for, right? And then some of you guys have paid the full price depending on when you have purchased. But ultimately, all of those tactics that we employed were to build trust. They were to build trust. They were to capture leads, right? We could have stuck to our laurels and said, no, we are only buying, we are only advertising, and we advertising to people that can afford to pay 3,500 rand for this full day workshop, and that works because then we're generating revenue for our business, right? But we would have had a lower number of conversions, and that also works perfectly fine in its own ecosystem. But we realized that, hey, listen, our academy is still relatively new in the market, and we are building a relationship with customers. We don't want to just build a transactional relationship. We want to build a community with our SMEs. And so let's invite some people for free, where they can get a view of the entire ecosystem of our training, get a view of who we are. And ultimately, as we get more users in our ecosystem, they will bring more users as well. They will invite other friends, family, partners, to join our training. And ultimately, that's how we grow a business that is beyond just transaction. All right. But in a space, whether you are a for-profit business or a non-profit business, we all are looking for that purchase, right? Once the stranger has come into our space, we've shared our value proposition with them. We've captured them as a lead, by means of sharing a quotation or doing a demo or sharing a sample with them to build our trust. We now in a space where we put them in a position where they can buy, right? Once they've purchased, now our customer can also advertise for us. How do they advertise for us? Our customer can tell their friends about us on the good job that we've done or the bad job that we've done. And their friends and their partners are in a position to come back to us and say, hey, you help this person, can you also help me, right? That's customer marketing. But ultimately, the space of the process of marketing is repeating this cycle over and over again, in such a way that you can engage with strangers and convert these strangers into promoters, right? I've been in a space where we've engaged with customers that come to us and they say, I want you to do marketing for me. And it's like, yes, okay. This is what we do in our ecosystem of marketing. We do inbound marketing. We also do sales enablement. And then there's a confusion. They're like, no, I'm not generating any sales, right? There's something wrong with the marketing. And then a follow-up question would be asked as to, okay, when we bring these leads to you, when we bring these strangers through your doors, who talks to them? Do you have a sales team that follows up with them? Do you have a sales team that does the quotations for them? Do you offer any promotions? And you find that our customers don't have a system when it comes to their sales. It's important to understand that there's a difference. There's a fundamental difference between marketing activities and sales activities, right? Marketing activities are all positioned in a way that we are bringing strangers into our ecosystem, right? What we are doing today is a marketing exercise. After this workshop, and as we are building more relationships or long-term relationships, Timo and Tabang, who run the sales team, will basically be engaging with our customers to encourage them to buy another course or to encourage them to buy our monthly membership so that you have access to all these courses that we run on a monthly basis. That's a sales activity, right? It's important that your marketing and your sales are as aligned as possible, to make sure that you are not losing any customers when you are taking them through your sales funnel, right? A lot of the time we run, and I'll explain what the funnel looks like and all the different touch points. But ultimately, the problem with a marketing activity or a marketing strategy that is not thoroughly thought out, in terms of how it connects with sales, is that we get leads. You might find that the leads that we get might not necessarily be the most appropriate people for our brand, right? You might find that we are advertising to people that sell cars when we are selling software instead, and we want to engage with people that are in the IT space. That means we don't understand who our customers are. And basically, it's important that when the marketing activities that are bringing our customers through our funnel, when they come in, they need to be the most appropriate of people, so that our sales team can take over those people once we've built our trust, and they can basically complete that sale. All right. But this will make sense as we go through all the different touch points in our workshop. So how does the marketing funnel look like? First and foremost, what is the marketing funnel? I briefly mentioned it earlier, and I'll repeat it now. The marketing funnel are the stages that your customer takes, from the point where they didn't know about you, where they are strangers, and ultimately they enter your ecosystem. You engage with them in your ecosystem by offering them samples, offering them a demo, offering them a free product, offering them a quotation, and showcasing your credibility, where you can build trust with them and ultimately get them to purchase. And once you've gotten them to purchase, you don't lose them. You don't stop there. You get those customers from a one-time transaction in becoming your advocate and telling other customers about it, right? And essentially, our sales funnel or our customer journey, it all manifests itself in different ways when it comes to digital marketing, right? In our workshop today, we will be talking about paid ads, which is more focused on customer acquisition. And that is one tactic that can be employed in the world of digital marketing. In our ecosystem of, in our academy ecosystem, we also have a course called Inbound Marketing, where we talk about each and every element of digital marketing. And in this workshop, we are only focused on acquisition, on customer acquisition, on paid ads, and how to actually generate customers through paid ads and outbound marketing. All right. So some of these terms, they might be confusing for you right now. You might not understand, but through the different touch points that we'll be discussing, it will make sense at the end as we put everything together. All right. So let me create an example. We are Rekisa Academy, and we are running this workshop. One or two of you guys would have seen this workshop advertised on social media. Some of you would have received an email from our affiliate partners from the Innovation Hub, right? They are affiliates, and they would have said, hey, here's a training from our partners from Rekisa. Make sure that you attend, because they will help. They will train you about paid ads and outbound. Some of you guys would have seen our ads from our blogs that we write on our website, and you would have seen a pop-up that came up, that showed up rather, saying, hey, attend our training that happens on this day, right? Some of you would have seen it through Google Ads. But ultimately, my whole point that I'm raising here is the first touch point of getting strangers. These green dots are all strangers. In order for us to get these strangers, they would have seen our advert somewhere in the ecosystem of digital marketing. And these entry touch points are all the pieces that I've already mentioned, and some of the pieces that we will be going through today, Those pieces are Google Ads, Facebook Ads, LinkedIn Ads, Meta Ads. Facebook and IG are one company, so we'll just say those are Meta Ads. For the purpose of this session, we're not going to go through other elements such as YouTube ads or trade shows, but ultimately entry levels or entry channels for your business, where you are engaging with strangers and you want these strangers to enter your office or to enter your ecosystem, these are all the different touch points that they will be exposed to. This workshop will talk about the first four at the top, plus outbound sales. But for our academy, the last couple of months, we've been doing most of these tactics. The only pieces that we haven't done as yet are YouTube ads, TV and radio ads. We haven't really been doing that because advertising and marketing is also dependent on the level of resources that you have within your ecosystem, right? It's not to say one size fits all. Depending on the resources that you have, you might afford to do all of these across your financial year. You might have limited resources and you could only be able to scale where this year you're only focusing on Google ads, but next year with a bigger budget you might want to do Google ads, Facebook ads and LinkedIn ads, and you scale it gradually. But ultimately, once people have entered your channel or your ecosystem, you now need to engage with them. Now they are a lead, right? And or rather you need to convert them into a lead. They were a stranger. Let's say we had 10 of these strangers who came through our doors or gave us a call wanting to know how our platform works or how our academy works, right? Now we are engaging with these strangers. Of the 10 that came in, maybe 8 of them stay or become leads, right? And how we convert them into leads in a world of digital marketing is we would create what we call lead magnets. So lead magnets, in layman terms, is a simple, easy sample or a demo or even a purchase that we are willing to offer to a customer in order to, or to a stranger in order to convert them into a customer. An example of a lead magnet in the world of digital marketing would be free ebook downloads that you would be exposed to in some way or the other. Another example of lead magnets are the samples that I keep mentioning, whether you run a business that sells physical products, or if you're running a business that provides consultation, then you could offer free consulting for 30 minutes or for an hour. You could run a workshop for free. These are all lead magnets, right? All created to get these strangers to basically convert into leads. So now it's important to understand that the funnel, and the reason why it's called a funnel is because the number of people that enter this journey will be far higher at the top than the number of people that ultimately convert at the bottom. Our job as businesses, our jobs as entrepreneurs, is to make sure that as many people that I engage with here, I get as many of them to basically purchase and become a customer at the bottom. But unfortunately, the reality is that not everyone that we engage with will become a customer, right? It's impossible to talk to 100 people and convert all 100 of them in becoming a customer, unless I am SARS and I tell them that if they don't submit their tax returns, then we will close their business or we'll penalize them. But even that has a relatively low conversion. It's a bad example, but I wanted to get an example that we could all relate to. But ultimately, it's important that through the different strategies that we employ in our funnel, we convert as many of the people at the top, and we convert them to go through the different stages and come out at the bottom as our customers. All right. So now we've captured them. We've captured these strangers as leads. Imagine this was 10 and 8 of them, and 8 of them are currently in the lead capture stage where they've given us their details, or we've given, or they've booked an appointment, or we've given them our sample. Now we need to follow up with them. Now we need to build trust, right? If we are in a physical space where we either run a factory where we need some level of ISO accreditation or SABS accreditation, then these are the things that we tell them. We tell them that, hey, we are ISO level 1, 2, and 3. We are SABS approved. We are QCTO approved, and that's what our certifications come with. As a digital business, we are Google partners, certified Google partners, certified HubSpot partners, certified AWS partners. All of those pieces are created to build trust. And I'm not here to encourage anyone or diverge anyone from their current way of building trust. I believe that each person that is in this session is an expert in their own respect, but it's important that the trust building that you use, you are strategic about it, right? It's not showing off in any way. Some people are scared to talk about their accolades and the things that they actually do. I don't know why. They might be shy. Maybe they might not want to come across as being fraudulent or lack credibility. But all the things that you do, case studies that you share, the brands that you've worked with, all of that is a way of building trust with your customer. If you have a strong branding presence where you have billboards, where you have billboards on highways or in your local area, that's a form of building trust. If people are talking about you on social media, talking about how great your product is, that's a form of building trust. I'm a big fan of case studies because that's a fact, right? It's not an opinion or anything, it's a fact. It's us saying, we worked with this brand, this is the problem they came with to us, and this is how we help them through this problem. That's a case study, and we can talk about that case study on socials. We can talk about that case study on email. We've spoken about the demos. We've spoken about webinars in terms of running free training sessions. That's a way of building trust. Email marketing is another way of building trust. But most important, and a piece that we're going to be talking a lot about, is remarketing, or frequency of showing your advert to a particular customer, or even calling this customer 10 times until they give you an answer, whether that answer is yes or no. That's a form of remarketing, right? And it's all created in such a way that, we are building trust in our funnel. So now, let's say our 8 people that gave us their details or booked our free appointment now are in the trust building phase, and they are like, okay, I like this. And we take the 8, we've turned them to 6, right? 2 of them have fallen off the funnel, maybe because they just feel that we're not the right fit for them. Now, after we've built this trust, now this is where the purchase needs to come in, right? The purchase is in offering all the different ways of you getting the sale, right? We've built the trust. We now want the customer to exchange money with us. In the world of digital marketing, there's 3 examples here in terms of how you can track them. We are an e-commerce business. Our e-commerce shops have a dashboard where we can see how many people have come in. Of those people, how many of them have viewed our products? Of the people that viewed our products, how many of them have purchased, right? But you might not have an e-commerce website. You might have a normal website. And there's a way where your customers are able to request for quotation. And that's how you are able to track who's actually converting from the people that are coming to our website. Or we might have a WhatsApp number where people contact you and they're asking for quotation. You need to have a system in place where it says, okay, of the people that engaged us today on our WhatsApp number, how many of them requested for quotations? And of those, how many of them actually paid for those quotations? But when we're talking more advanced elements, we could even set up Google Analytics that helps you to understand your website traffic and use those insights into and convert them into profitable sales, right? By making sure that you are advertising to the right customer in the right location at the right time at the right price. And essentially, that what is called dashboards is basically having a CRM system where you have housed all your customers in one system. I'll show you an example of a CRM that we use that is for free that you can also consider. But ultimately, remember that just because these 10 people didn't buy, just because these 10, not all 10 of them bought, does not mean they won't buy another time. This entire journey of the customer journey and the sales funnel is designed in such a way that your strangers are constantly building a relationship with you. And this is where inbound marketing comes now, where you are constantly finding opportunities to build a relationship with your customer. Just because the customer isn't ready to buy now does not mean they won't be ready to buy in 6 months, in 6 years. It really depends as to how you are always looking at building that relationship, right? So now let's say after we've given the customer our quotation and we've given them the discounts, the 6 people that were currently sitting here, only 5 of them buy, right? Only 5 of them actually become customers. Ultimately, what that means is they are right at the bottom of our funnel, And now we have a conversion rate, right? We are saying, okay, of the 10 people that came in here, how many of them became customers? Five of them became customers. Okay, so what's our ROI? What's our conversion rate? That means our conversion rate is 50%, right? Some people have a conversion rate of 10%. Some people have a conversion rate of 1%. Conversion rates all depend on how your funnel looks like. They all depend on your market. They all depend on your marketing resources. Conversion rates are honestly like, just they're dependent on various elements of your business far over and beyond just marketing in itself. Just because your conversion rate is 1% does not mean all is doom and gloom. At least now you have data to know what is my conversion rate and how do I move from 1% to 5%. How do I move it from 5% to 20%? And having an optimized sales funnel is one of those tactics that can help you to achieve that, right? This is a simpler version of the sales funnel that I keep pressing on by mistake. But ultimately, the sales funnel is an entire journey that where our customers are aware of our brand, where we create awareness. Through that awareness, we acquire our customer. Through that acquisition, we acquire our customers by activating, by offering them various free tools or tools that they basically can't say no to. And that's how we generate our revenue. But it's very important that once the revenue is generated, we are not leaving it there. We retain them. We have to constantly find ways of retaining our customers, and that's why subscription businesses are so profitable, right? Because they get their customers to constantly repeat the purchase over and over again every month, every week, or every day. I don't know what type of business model that would be, but retaining is very important, and even more important is getting the people that we've retained into referrals, right? And this is a simpler version of me talking about this funnel, right? It's engaging with people that are strangers and getting them into our ecosystem, get those strangers into becoming customers, and getting those customers in becoming advocates or evangelizers for our business. Our job as a marketing ecosystem or even entrepreneurs, because if you're an entrepreneur and you have a small business that might not have a marketing team or a marketer, it's important that you also look at this as the marketer in your own business, right? Our job is to build a product that people relate to, that people love and are willing to exchange money in exchange of, enjoying the value of your brand, right? And ultimately, once we've built this product or this service, we acquire our customers through various acquisition systems that we've created. It's important again that I mentioned that because of resources, businesses all have different levels of resources. Big business, small business, we all have a limited amount of resources, right? And it's important that we use these resources in a profitable way as much as possible. So we might be a Facebook and we can afford to advertise on Google, on Facebook, on WhatsApp, on email, on programmatic platforms, on LinkedIn. But we might also be a smaller business where we can only afford to advertise through email, right? Or we love email so much because it's more profitable for us. We don't advertise on other social media platforms. There's no right or wrong. There's trade-offs, right? Whatever strategy you choose for your own business, as long as it's getting you the leads, and as long as it's getting you those leads in a profitable way, that's to say the cost acquisition of getting those customers is as low as possible so that you can run a profitable campaign. That's very important for you to achieve, right? And ultimately, we've all been exposed to different ways of getting customers through marketing, right? Word of mouth is probably the best way of generating leads, but we are not in control of word of mouth. I can't force my customers to tell their friends about my business or how great my business is, right? As soon as I start forcing my customer, then I might as well just hire them as a sales team and then exchange money with them to convert people, right? But it's very important that whatever that system is, whether it's word of mouth, whether it's getting leads on Facebook, It's important that we have a tracking system that can tell us what that cost per lead is, and I'll show you briefly how you can track those metrics. You need to know. So what I mean by cost per lead is, imagine you are selling a product for 100 rand, and you advertised on radio or you advertised on TV, and it cost you 50 rand to show that advert to your possible customer, right? Your customer comes into you, and they come to you, and essentially they purchase your product for 100 rand. But of that 100 rand, you had to pay 50 rand for the marketing. You are left with 50 rand, and you still need to pay your other costs that are evident in your business. And let's say you are left with 10 rand, right? Your cost per acquisition to get that one sale would have been a total of 90 rand, essentially, because it's the 50 rand that we paid to showcase our advert. It's the money that we have to pay to our sales team. It's the money that we still have to pay towards the resources in delivering that product. And ultimately, we put all those costs together, and we put it against like the cost of selling selling this product to our customer. And ultimately, that's how we calculate our cost per lead, right? The cost per customer is linked to cost per lead, but ultimately cost per customer means how much does it cost us to actually get this person after we've paid all our other costs, to keep this customer. How much is this customer actually worth? How much did it cost us? And then the conversion rate is, of the strangers that saw our advert, how many of them became a customer, and how much did that actually cost us, right? Those are three very important metrics, but again, I will show you later what they mean and how they manifest in the different platforms. Another important metric to be aware of is a metric called lifetime value, or customer lifetime value. So what that means is, how much is our customer worth to us while they are a customer and they are paying every month, every year, for however long they keep working with us. I'll make an example of insurance. Insurance companies may have a high customer lifetime value, right? Because you pay them every month, and some of them is a month to month. Some of them might lock you in for a certain number of years. But ultimately, what lifetime value means is, how much is the customer paying to us for as long as they keep they stay in our ecosystem and they remain our customer. For our academy business, as an example, we know that we have once-off costs, right? But if we create a subscription model where we charge a lower membership fee, and let's say that membership fee is 100 Rand a month to have access to all our workshops, and you as a customer, you remain in that subscription model for 12 months, our lifetime value, or the value that we're getting from you, is 100 Rand times 12 months. So that means the customer value is 1,200. We take what you pay us multiplied by the months that you keep paying us for, right? So that's how you calculate your lifetime value. The longer your lifetime value, the cheaper your marketing becomes, because essentially you now generate most of your revenue from existing customer base, and your strategy can shift from always trying to acquire new customers to servicing existing customers. It's cheaper to service existing customers as opposed to getting new customers all the time. All right. But again, we'll touch on that and how it manifests. And then the testing, guys. I mentioned that you need to change your mindset. You need to have a mindset of testing, of experimentation when you are advertising online and when you are looking to generate leads online, because there's different touch points. There's an example. My partner has been engaging with a possible customer who wants to run email marketing. This customer, and this is a real example, this customer just wants to run one email, and they want to use a threat type of tactic to get to their customers. So what that means, they are in the IT space and they want to show the customer that, hey, your websites are compromised, use our solution so that you have extra security, as an example, right? And they only want to send one email. They don't want to run a call center. They don't want to advertise on social media. And they only want to run that one email. So just listening to this, I was like, That's okay. That's a strategy, right? But when it comes to digital marketing, it's important that you have as many touch points as possible. Why? Because we are building trust. It's the sales funnel. If you only do one strategy, which is email, and you don't employ other strategies, then it's going to be very difficult to get your customers through your sales funnel, right? Because emails can be blocked, emails can go into junk. The customer may have so many emails that they prioritize through what emails they open, which emails they don't open. You're competing with a lot there. Whereas you can run an email, and then you can run a LinkedIn campaign, and you can also run a Google ad campaign, so that whoever receives your email through the analytics that you set up and the tracking that you set up, they can also see your advert on LinkedIn. They can also see your advert on Google when they're searching for solutions that you sell. Now you have several touch points, and these touch points are all a means of testing what works for our different business, what works for the different stages of our funnel, right? And once we have that data, then we have something to work with. We have something that we need to improve. We have something that we can stop and start something else. If we are not doing anything at all, or we're just doing one, and we don't have a way of tracking what's working and what's not, then we are wasting resources. We just keep throwing money at a problem that does not have a proper answer, right? I've spoken about evangelizers in terms of getting strangers into customers. And this is my last slide in this particular space, guys, and then I'll go into what it actually looks like in real life. But ultimately, the funnel, if you are in the kitchen, I'll make an example of the kitchen. We have filters, right? A funnel is a filter, if you may put it that way. A surf, is it a surf, Mañano? That thing where we put flour in, yeah, it's a surf, right? I don't know what it's called in English, but I think it's a surf. I know it as a surf. And we filter our flour through it, right? So that smaller pieces of this flour go into our bowl. That's basically what the funnel is. And the raw lead, there's even a calculation around how the funnel works when it comes to sales, right? And what it means is when a person comes in, they're a raw lead, they're a stranger. They have 20% conversion rate, right? There's a 20% chance that they could end up buying from you, right? And then once they are a marketing qualified lead, what that means is we also have our own questions at the back of our minds or at the back of our systems to say, is this the right person? Am I talking to the right person first and foremost? Okay, if I'm talking to the right person, do they have the budget to buy what I am offering them? Yes, they have the budget. All right. Is their timeline appropriate? Can we actually do the job based on what they are asking us for? Yes. All right. Now we can qualify them as a lead, right? As a marketing qualified lead. Again, depending on your different systems and your different business, some customers might not be a marketing qualified lead at the first touch point. They might end up being a marketing qualified lead at the fifth touch point, at the 10th touch point, depending on how often you engage with them and constantly bring them into your funnel, right? But ultimately, once they've become a marketing qualified lead, your opportunity to convert them into a customer, or your ratio, has increased from 20% to 80%, right? But this is not set in stone. It will definitely be different for everyone that's in this session, because our businesses are different. Once they've accepted our quotation and they're ready to actually work with us, or we've sent them the quotation, but they haven't converted as yet, that ratio immediately drops again to either 20 to 30 to 40%, because they are not a customer as yet. They might still be an opportunity. They might only convert in 6 months or in a year's time, depending on what type of industries you actually sell to, right? And ultimately, once they've purchased, you can then close the deal as a win, or you can close the deal as a loss. The important thing for you is to make sure that you have that system that can show that can give your sales team, or show your business or your financial team a journey of what do our forecasts look like, from the 100 people that we're talking about or talking to, how much are they worth? Once we understand what they're worth, how many quotations have we sent through? Of those quotations, how many of them have actually been accepted? Once they are accepted, how many of them have been paid, right? Because we've been in situations where the quote has been accepted, but money is still not in the bank. And we have to go through the customer's process of being in their procurement system, so on and so forth, right? But ultimately, the sales funnel manifests itself in different ways for all the different businesses, guys, right? I'm going to pause here. I'm not going to carry on in this particular presentation. I'm going to go onto our different platforms. But are there any questions about the sales funnel that you may need clarity on? I'm going to move to our screen and stop presenting and then open our chats. But you can unmute yourself if you have a question. And I'm happy to answer the question relating to the funnels.
May I ask a question?
All right. Sorry, Elise. I have Itumeleng who has raised her hand. So maybe Elise ask your question and then Itumeleng, I will answer your question after.
Okay, thank you. Actually,
Elise, can you try to mute one of your screens? Because I see there's two of you here. All right, Elise, do you want to try that again? Elise, are you still there? Okay, I will move on to Itumeleng. Elise, once you're ready, you let us know. Itumeleng, you have a question.
Good day, everyone. Question: when it comes to the last sales function where you have sent a code, they've received the code, and now it's just about them making the first payment. What is the limit to following up on that? That it doesn't seem like you're also being desperate as a business, since you're also like in a startup. What is the limit of showing desperation, of just showing interest in making sure that the customer gets what they were shopping for?
I'm with you. It depends, Itumeleng. It depends on your business. It depends on the resources that you have in your business. It depends on the product that you offer. I'll make an example of our business, right? With our e-commerce business, once a customer has created their free account, we then nurture them through email marketing, and the team calls them at least a maximum of 6 times to help them. And this help obviously is set up in such a way that we convert them from a free shop into a paying customer. Beyond 6 times, we no longer call. We then nurture you through email marketing and the webinars and the events that we invite you to, right? For some service businesses, they may be relentless. They are like, hey, until this customer has said no or they've blocked us, we never stop, right? Call this customer every Monday or call this customer every second Monday. It really depends on your type of business and your funnel and the types of relationships that you set up with your customers. And I think it also depends on how long your sales process takes. Some people have a 1-day sales process, right? Some people have a 1-week sales process. Some people have we have a 30-day sales process. What that means is from the time that a customer is a stranger to the time that the customer becomes a customer, it takes us on average 30 days. Sometimes it takes us 60 days. But that has to do with the overall business strategy as well, right? I don't know if we have other questions, but Itumeleng, my follow-up question would be, how long does your sales process take? Do you have an idea?
So because we work in the medical sector, if a quotation is provided, then it will either last 30 days.
Yeah.
So in those 30 days, you just have to make sure that the client converts and makes a payment with us, or then they'd have to go back again to the healthcare provider and do another consultation, because now it's a totally different thing to get a new quotation raised. So in that 30 days, it means that like almost every 2 days is
I'm with
us
you.
emailing or calling.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
just, sometimes it just feels like, because then I look at myself and get irritated from the my way calls and everything. I'm like,
Yeah,
how
yeah.
does then the patient feel if we're doing the same
I'm
thing?
with you. I'm with you. Hey, listen. Again, it depends on the industry and your business, but at the end of the day, we have sales targets to achieve. At the end of the day, we have businesses that need to be sustainable, right? There's no shame in following up. There are people that work in the same space, and they say the follow up is probably the most powerful than the first touch point. And you can, there's various ways that you can follow up, right? You can follow up by sharing more educational pieces, and then on your last piece of your email you can say, hey, by the way, have you had a chance to consider this quotation or this offer that we gave you? You can follow up by, being relentless on a call center. You can follow up by sending them gifts and gifts and offers. There's different ways to follow up. But I think in terms of where do you draw the line, it depends on your overall strategy and the culture in your business to say, okay, we're not gonna chase people. If they do not see the value in our business within our 6 touch points, then let's leave them. Let's nurture them through automated email marketing. And then maybe they'll come back in 12 months again, and then we take it from there. All right. Are there any other questions, guys, relating to sales funnels?
Yes, Satu, may I actually
Yes,
make a
Elise.
remark?
Now we can hear you. Yes.
Yeah, sorry about confusion earlier. It's just about the term and the concept of a funnel. Now, I know, trade uses that and everybody uses it that way.
Yeah.
But if you think in terms of what the function of a true funnel is, a physical funnel, it's actually not to sort of remove the unpotential ones, but it is to take all of the contents into another receptacle, forcing all the volume through a small area in order to catch it in another receptacle. That's really the function of a funnel. So maybe we should start using a different word, like like a tea strainer. That is really what we're doing.
Yeah.
I don't know what's the correct word, sieve or a strainer. The word funnel is not exactly correct.
Yeah.
But I know that's how the trade uses it.
I'm with you, and thank you for that, Elise. Thank you so much for that. And I mean, I agree with you. That's why I prefer using the word customer journey and funnel interchangeably. Some businesses call it the flywheel. Other businesses call it the fly trap. There's so many words for the funnel, and we all have a funnel, whether we are aware of it or not, right? And what's important is that we are aware so that we can be strategic about who we engage with, at what period we engage with them, what do we offer them, and how do we repeat it as a system? How do we create different funnels, right? And in this workshop, I'll also show you how we create different funnels for our different parts of our business as well. But thank you so much for that remark, Elise. All right. Okay, guys, it's 11:01. I will conclude our sales funnel topic right now. Let's take a 10-minute coffee break, and then we will commence at 11:10 sharp, where we will start getting into the nitty-gritties of our different channels. All right. I'll stop recording now, and we'll start recording again at 11:10. Thank you.